So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Krishna is explaining his birth is not ordinary birth, like ordinary people. That is why I should understand Krishna's birth is not material, dibbam. Janma karma chame dibbam. Evam juveti tattata. Taktadeham punarjanma noiti mahamiti shorja. Janma karma birth also. Me, of mine. Dibbam, transcendental. Evam, like this, whatever I explained before, previous verses. Ja, anyone who Vetti knows tattataha in reality, tat means completely. Tattva means knowledge, tattva means with complete knowledge. Takta deham, after living body, punarjanma, again birth. No, never, eti, does it. Ma unto me, eti, does it. Shah, he, Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Purport. The Lord's descent from his transcendental abode is already explained in the 6th verse. One who can understand the truth of the appearance of the personality of Godhead is already liberated from material bondage, and therefore he returns to the kingdom of God immediately after quitting his present material body. Such liberation of the living entity from material bondage is not at all easy. The impersonalists and the yogis attain liberation only after much travel and many births. Even then, the liberation they achieve merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord is only partial, and there is the risk of returning to this material world. But the devotee, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attains the abode of the Lord after ending this body and does not return the risk of returning to this material world. One question may come. Simply by knowing Krishna's birth and activities are transcendental, will not come back again. How it works? Just imagine. If somebody says, in your home, there is a stone. If you believe that there is gold, 5 kilo gold. If you believe that, you'll no more beggar, no poor. It didn't happen. Just by thinking this is not a stone, this is gold. Then you will not, tomorrow you will not go for begging. You will also next plan to whom I should give. So just by thinking, this stone is not a stone, this is gold, he become a rich man. Just by he will accept it completely. In the same way, if we accept Krishna's everything transcendental, he will be transcendental. Why is it not possible? ক্লাস চলতে পরে কথা বলুন ঠিক আমি আসি Such liberation of the living entity from material bondage is not at all easy. The impersonalist and the yogis attain liberation only after much travel and many births. So, it is not possible for the karmis and for gyanis and impersonalist many, many vows. But for devotees, simply by accepting Janma Karma Chitri. So bhakti is so simple. Even then, the liberation they achieve, merging into the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord, is only partial, and there is the risk of returning to this material world. But the devotee, simply by understanding the transcendental nature of the body and activities of the Lord, attains the abode of the Lord after ending this body and doesn't run the risk of returning into this material world. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Lord has many, many forms and incarnations. Advaitam, Achittam, Anadim, Anantarupam. Although there are many transcendental forms of the Lord, there is still one and the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. One has to understand this fact with conviction, although it is incomprehensible to mundane scholars and empiric philosophers. Mundane scholars Kormi, empiric philosophers Geni, is for them it is incomprehensible. As stated in the Vedas, Eko Devo Nityo Lilanurakto Bhakto Vyapi Ridi Antar Atma Purush Bodhani Upanishad. The one Supreme Personality of Godhead is eternally engaged in many, many transcendental forms in relationship with his unallied devotees. Eko Devo, Lord is one. Nityo Lilanurakto, he is engaged in Nityo, always. Eternal. Lila, different past tense. How? Bhakto Vyapi Riddhi Antaratma. According to desire of the devotees. Eternally engaged in many, many transcendental forms in relationship with his unallied devotees. Bhakta Vyapi Riddhi Antaratma. This is written in the Upanishad already. Still, as these people don't read Vedas, that is why think, oh, Hindu Dharma is polytheism. It's clearly stated, Lord is one. And as they have no teaching of Vedas, that is why other religion converting Sanatana, oh, you have so many gods. Veda is not saying so many gods. So many forms of the gods. God is one. This Vedic version is confirmed in the verse of the Gita personally by the Lord. He who accepts this birth, he who accepts this truth on the strength of the authority of the Vedas and of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who does not waste time in philosophical speculations, attain the highest perfectional stage of liberation. Simply by accepting this truth on faith, one can without a doubt attain liberation. The Vedic version Tattvamoshi is actually applied in this case. Anyone who understands Lord Krishna to be the Supreme, or who says unto the Lord, you are the same Supreme Brahman, the Personality of Godhead, is certainly liberated instantly, and consequently his entrance into the transcendental association of the Lord is guaranteed. In other words, such faithful devotee of the Lord attains perfection. And this is confirmed by the following Vedic assertion. Tameva viditta iti mrityum eti nanna pantha vidyate ayanayo. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death simply by knowing the Lord, the Supreme Personal Godhead. Tameva viditta iti mrityumta. Same thing. Janma karma chamay dibbam. That is Shetashwara Upanishad. Tam eva viditta. Just, oh Lord, some people, you know. Viditta means no. Iti. How? Just mrityumeti. Just simply by knowing he can conquer death. One can attain the perfect stage of liberation from birth and death. Simply by knowing. Nanna pantha vidyate ayana. No anna pantha vidyate. Vidyate remains. There is no other way without knowing law. That there is no alternative means that anyone who does not understand Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is surely in the mode of ignorance, and consequently he will not attain salvation simply, so to speak, by licking the outer surface of the bottle of honey or by interpreting the Bhagavad Gita according to the modern scholarship. Very powerful statement. As Buddha said, Nanna pantha vidyate. No other pantha will work. So if you explain Bhagavad Gita but not a devotee of Krishna, so how? What are delivering other? You will not deliver. Such empiric philosophers may assume very important role in the material world, but they are not necessarily eligible for liberation. Such popped up mundane scholars have to wait for the causeless mercy of the devotee of the Lord. One should therefore cultivate Krishna consciousness with faith and knowledge, and in this way attain perfection. If you say in this statement, so if you don't believe, then what you should do? Give some example. Example, Pito Rago Bhaya Kradha Manmaya Pavachita. Bahava Tapasha Putamat Bhavam Agata. Bito Rago Bhaya Kradha. Bhoy and Krodh. Fear and anger. Bito. Bito is freed from rag attachment. So one is free from rag, fear and krodh. Then mat maya, fully in me, mam upasrita. Mam in me, upasrita, being fully situated. Asrita, upasrita, being fully situated in me. Krishna said, fully situated in me. Bahu, many, bahu. This word bahu, 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 many. Jnana tapasya, jnana of knowledge, tapasya by the penances. Puta, puta pavitra, puta means being purified. Mat bhavam, mat bhavam means transcendental love for me. Agata, agato, agaman, attained. Being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. As described above, it is very difficult for a person who is too materially affected to understand the personal nature of the Supreme Absolute Truth. Generally, people who are attached to the bodily conception of life are so absorbed in materialism that it is almost impossible for them to understand how the Supreme can be a person. Such materialists cannot even imagine that there is a transcendental body which is imperishable, full of knowledge and eternally blissful. This is called Kupamanduk, knowledge like a frog of well. They have no idea. It's something Shatchit Anandamaya. Shat, imperishable. Chit, full of knowledge. And Ananda, eternally blissful. They have no idea something become like that. As they have no knowledge about the transcendental, they think everything is material. In the materialistic concept, the body is perishable, asat, full of ignorance, achit, and completely miserable, nirananda, opposite of Satchidananda. Therefore, people in general keep the same bodily idea in mind when they are informed of the personal form of the Lord. As they think, oh, as our body is temporary, full of ignorance, and full of miseries, then if Lord has some body, he will also suffer like that. So how Lord can suffer like that? Better Lord has no. Then all problem is solved. It is like if you know that due to headache, due to head there is headache. But if you cut off the head, there is no chance of a headache. It's true, that's true. If you have no head, there is no headache. But that is not the solution. For such materialistic man, the form of the gigantic material manifestation is supreme. Consequently, they consider the supreme to be impersonal. So, gross materialist, above that, they think, oh, God must be very big. That is gigantic material manifestation. Virat. Above that, they say, oh, Lord is impersonal. And because they are too materially absorbed, the conception of retaining the personality after liberation from matter frightens them. Oh, after liberation, again body, again suffer. No, after liberation, I don't want anybody. I don't want to suffer. When they're informed that spiritual life is also individual and personal, they become afraid of becoming persons again. And so they naturally preferred a kind of merging into the impersonal void. Generally, they compare the living entities to the bubbles of the ocean, which merge into the ocean. That is the highest perfection of spiritual existence, attainable without individual personality. Yes, that's true. Prabhupada also gave example. Samudre phena jana samudri misha. Prabhupada wrote in Bengali poem, Vindavana Bhajan. He explained that. This body is like a bubble. That's true. But we should not accept one part of the example. To make understand this is temporary. But it is not there. Here, generally they compare the living entities to the bubble of the ocean, which merges into the ocean. But he should understand what is bubble. Bubble means when water captures air. So when bubble bursts out, water may merge into water, but air has gone. Air has not become water. That is the height of spiritual existence attainable without individual personality. This is a kind of fearful stage of life, devoid of perfect knowledge of spiritual existence. Furthermore, there are many persons who cannot understand spiritual existence at all, being embarrassed by so many theories and by contradictions of various types of philosophical speculation. They become disgusted or angry and foolishly conclude that there is no supreme cause and that everything is ultimately void. Such people are in the diseased condition of life. Some people are too materially attached and therefore do not give attention to spiritual life. Some of them want to merge into the supreme spiritual cause, and some of them disbelieve in everything being angry at all sorts of spiritual speculation out of hopelessness, frustrated. Like, you were frustrated to a doctor. Will you stop going to a doctor, other doctor also? This last class of man, those are frustrated, take to the shelter of some kind of intoxication, and the resultant hallucinations are sometimes accepted as spiritual or stay high. One has to get rid of all three stages of material consciousness. What are they? Attachment to material life, fear of spiritual personal identity, and the conception of void that arises from frustration in life. Three. We should get rid from all this. To free from these three stages of material concept of life, one has to take complete shelter of the law, guided by the bona fide spiritual master, and follow the disciplines and regulatory principles of devotional life. The last stage of devotional life is called bhava, or transcendent love of Godhead. Don't misinterpret that bhava is the last, but prema is the last. Here, Prabhupada just generally want to mean bhava means prema, almost. The last stage of devotional life is called bhava, or transcendent love of God. Don't misquote the other place. Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita, this verse actually last is a bhav, not prem. Don't quote in such a way. One should understand how Prabhupada is saying. The last stage of devotional life is bhava. According to Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the science of devotional service, adau shraddha, tato sadhusang, atha bhajana kriya, tato anartha nibidisha, tato nishtha, ruchistata, atha ashakti. After that, atha ashakti, tato bhava. And after bhava, tato prema abhuddhanchati. This 9 stages. Sadhakanam oyam premnaha. Pradhut bhavet krama. Pradhut bhavet krama. Gradually from adau shraddha, first, from faith, it will go to up to this prema. In the beginning, one must have a preliminary desire for self-realization. It's called faith. This will bring one to the stage of trying to associate with persons who are spiritually elevated. What is called? Sadhu Sangha, associate Sadhu Sangha. First, Prabhupada has not given this translation of Shraddha is faith, because people may not understand. The Prabhupada has translated Adu Shraddha means desire for self-realization. That's Shraddha. Simply faith, you will not understand. Adu Shraddha means desire for self-realization. Then second on this case, associate. Tada Sadhu Sangha. In the next stage, one becomes initiated by an elevated spiritual master under the instruction of a neophyte devotee, begins the process of devotional service. The process of devotional service is called process of devotional service, or initiation is called bhajana kriya. By executing of the devotional service under the guidance of a spiritual master, one becomes free from all material attachment. Free from all material attachment is called anartha nivritti. Attains steadiness in self-realization. For Prabhupada, how difficult to translate on this. After anartha nishtha, Prabhupada translates steadiness in self-realization. That's for nishtha. And ruchi acquires a taste. And then hearing from absolute truth of the Lord Sri Krishna. That what type of taste? Yeah, nishtha ruchi stata. What type of ruchi? Ruchi taste for hearing about the law. That taste. Then taste leads you further towards attachment, asakti, attachment. For whom? For Krishna consciousness, which is matured in bhav, last bhav. Then, or the preliminary stage of transcendental love of God. Real love for God is called prayer. This is the 8 stages, 9 stages. Last is prayer. Prema Martamaha. In the prema stage, there is constant engagement in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. So, by the slow process of devotional service, under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master, one can attain the highest stage, being freed from all material attachment, from the fearfulness of one's individual spiritual personality, and from the frustrations that result in void philosophy. Then one can ultimately attain to the abode of the Supreme Lord. Very nice. Now, very nice verse. So many people misquote these verses. Je yatamang prabodhante tangastadeva vajam. Mama vartma anuvartante manusya parthasat. Je, all who, jatha, as, mam unto me, prabodhante surrender. Tan, them, tatha, so. Evo, certainly, bhajami, reward. Here, bhajami means I do bhajan. So what does it mean? If devotee should do bhajan, Krishna will not do bhajan to his devotees. Yes, that is also bhajan. Bhajami, I do bhajan. That means I also have the devotees. We can eat. What type of service? To go translate nicely, that bhajan is reward. Purushkar dena. Reward. Bhajan means reward. That is the expertise of Srila Prabhupada. He has not the same meaning. Bhajan means I also worship him. He is not translating them. He said a reward. Aham I, mama my. Vartma path, anuvartante phala. Manusya, all men, partha osana pritha, sarvasa in all aspects. As all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Not that jatamat tatapa. Everyone follows my path in all aspects, O son of Pritha. Everyone is searching for Krishna in the different aspects of his manifestations. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is partially realized in his impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence, and as the all-pervading Supersoul dwelling within everything, including the particles of atoms. But Krishna is fully realized only by his pure devotees. Consequently, Krishna is the object of everyone's realization. And thus, anyone and everyone is satisfied according to one's desire to have him. In the transcendental world also, Krishna reciprocates with his pure devotees in the transcendental attitude, just as the devotee wants him. One devotee may want, now what is real Jatamattatapa? One devotee may want Krishna as Supreme Master, another as his personal friend, another as his son, and still another as his lover. This is Jatamattatapa. Unto me, Jitatama Mang Prabodhante. They don't quote that pass. Mang Prabodhante. Surrender unto me. That way. Krishna rewards all the devotees equally according to their different intensities of love for him. And the material world, the same reciprocations of feelings are there. And they are equally sensed by the Lord with the different types of worshippers. The pure devotees, both here and in the transcendental abode, associate with him in person. and are able to render personal service to the Lord and thus derive transcendental bliss in his loving service. As for those who are impersonalists and who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating the individual existence of the living entity, Krishna helps also by absorbing them into his effulgence. Krishna said, Jatamat Tatapat. Those who want to merge, also okay, merge with me, no problem. Such impersonalists do not agree to accept blissful personality of Godhead. And consequently, they cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord. And having extinguished their individuality, some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material world to exhibit their dormant desire for activities. What is that? Social welfare activities. That impersonalists, you can see, they are observing social welfare activities. Some of the impersonalists, those who want to extinguish their invisibility, some of them who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence, return to this material field to exhibit the dormant desires for activities. Anadita angha jasmat. Anadita angha patanti adho. And maybe social life activity, but good. But in conception of the service the Lord is incomparable. They are not admitted into the spiritual planets, but they are again given a chance to act on the material planets for those who are fruitful workers. And Lord awards the desired results of their prescribed duties as the Jagasha. He accepts their yoga also, Jagasha. And those who are yogis seeking mystic powers are awarded such powers. In other words, everyone is dependent for success upon his mercy alone. And all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees of success and the same power. Very good. Why? Same path? Yes. This is why all kinds of spiritual processes are but different degrees success on the same path. Path is same, but different degree. Unless, therefore, one comes to the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, all attempts remain imperfect and is stated in the Srimad Bhagavad. You are going to a station, 10 kilometers. Somebody goes 1 kilometer, somebody 5 kilometers. Yes, I am in the path, but 10 has gone. So you may 9 kilometers. That is not it's perfect. Until you are reaching the station and the train, that is a different stage is not perfect. That is why Bhagavad has been is called Paribhashya Sutra. What is the purpose of Bhagavad? Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. Akamo sarva kama va moksha kamo darati. Tibrana bhakti yogana jajata purusham param. Whether one is without desire, that means akama, no desire, is condition of devotees. Akama, or is desirous of all fruitive results, is called sarvakama, or is after liberation, is called mokshakama. One should all efforts try to worship the Supreme Personal Godhead for complete perfection, culminating in Krishna consciousness. Oh, so nice. Okay, Gulshan has raised hand.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very much, Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji, in the ninth verse, Lord Sri Krishna said, "He who knows my transcendental natures and activities does not take birth again in this material world." So my question is that, Maharaj Ji, when we take birth in this material world and before we are in the Golok Dham. We also know that Lord Krishna transcendental activities. Then why we take birth in this material world?
We cannot understand from here. Like, I will tell you, every living entity without water, without air, they cannot survive. So why fish is out of water? Why he cannot breathe? How it's possible? He is in the air, but he cannot breathe. He can breathe only the dissolved oxygen. What is in the water? He can breathe only with that. So in front of you, you don't understand the fish lifestyle. So how will you understand what has happened there? If I tell you one day he took sun planet, one day you took how will you understand? Is there any ice cream in sun planet? Who can understand? You should go there first with a fiery body, then you will understand. The same way, the cause, Guru Maharaj says, cause is lying there. Why have come? So from here, how will you understand the cause of there? And he is the cause of all, Sarva Karana Karanam. Who want to understand why we have we cannot understand everything. But if you really interested, no, go there, you will understand. Prabhupada was heavy. If you fall down in a ditch, in the well, will you research who has made this whole well in the middle of the road? Will you research that or will shout, please take out from here? So now we have understood we have fallen down. Now go back. Then we will research why you have fallen down.
Thank you, Maharaj.
And Bhagavad Gita as it is. Go to one.